Hello, so we are group number 8 for the subject Secure Software Engineering for the group project. I'll introduce my team members. It's Anirudh, whose ID is 1A1952877 A1930815. It's me, Raj, whose ID is 1940811, and Maaz, whose ID is 1919462. I'll move to the next slide. I'll I'll pass on the mic to my project. I'll pass on the mic to my team member, Maaz.
Hi, this is Maaz. So the basic idea behind our project is that we wanted to develop a home services application with a priority focus on security features. As ever since COVID-19, the utilization of technology has increased, and so has the need of security in these technologies. We wanted to ensure that our user data is protected and our service is reliable. So the architecture consists of the user interface, where the user interacts with the website that allows them to view and book services and provider details. The backend was done using Django framework. This consists of data processing, service management, enforcing security protocols that we've implemented, and we've used Django's built-in features for secure handling of requests and responses. For data storage, we've used SQL. We've implemented encryption mechanisms for it. The main feature for the user consists of user registration and login, which is encrypted using passwords and CSRF protection. Service catalog consists of viewing services, the prices of the services, the option to book the service and view the provider for the customer. And for the provider can upload services and accept, reject, or complete clients' requests. For payment, we've integrated Stripe for a secure payment mechanism, and admin network consists of admin tools and activity logs, which can only be used by the admin. And the security is a key feature of our application.
So these are the key functionality of our project. So the first one is the secure registration and authentication. So basically, whenever a user or any of the service provider register themselves in our portal, we have many of the security features that are implemented, and one of which is will start, which is input validation. There is password hashing, something like that. We have uh, the security features implemented in the line. So whenever a user logs in, and then we have all the security features that will be explained by my colleague in later on slides. So we also have secure payment gateway, which is Stripe. Stripe uses many security features that secures all the connections between the client and the payment gateway. Then we have provider portal. So all the services provider can have their own portal. Whenever they log in into the portal, they'll be able to see their add their services. They'll be able to see the services, manage the services. They'll be able to manage the request as well. So we'll be able to see the flow in the class diagram slide. I'll move on the next key functionality, which is service catalog. So we have a catalog for the users. So users will be able to see the catalog of services, and there'll also be a feature which is service packages. So that will be explained by the team members. We have single sign-on integration as well. So we have integrated Google as a single sign-on feature.
So while designing the our project, as I've discussed before, we chose Django as backend for the website. because of its built-in security features and ORM to prevent SQL injection. We divided the application into parts for increased modularity, and we have implemented necessary validation and sanitization, and we've also implemented session management for each user. We have, as Raj has discussed before, we have integrated SSO, service by Google itself.
Next slide is the class diagram. So we have session, admin, user, service request, and service. So session is the one who, like whenever a user logs in, there are different entities like username, password, email, and is the user is provider or not, and is is it admin or not. So based on the that entities, the user will be able to log in, and whenever a user will log in, there will be a session which will be created, and whenever a user logs out, there will be a session which will be ended. So this is a one-to-one relationship between the user and the session, and there are a few functions like register, login, logout, view service, book service, payment, request for inspection, and whenever a user requests for a service, it goes to service request, and there will be service request ID generated, and along with that there are other details which are also be kept, including the provider ID and the date requested, etc., as per the class diagram. Also, the accept request, complete request, and reject request will be managed by the service provider. So, service provider will have its own service ID, name, description, price, and provider ID, and it can able to create a service, update the service, or delete the service. And whenever the service is completed, there is accept request call will be generated. Uh, complete request call will be generated, and if the service provider is unavailable, then the reject request call will be, yeah, will be done. There's admin entity as well, which is able to manage all the data, including user, service request, services, and their permissions, and admin is also able to see the activity logs. So the next slide, this is user interface demonstration. So this is the home page screenshot of our user interface, and rest of the user interface demonstration will be done by my team member Anirudh at the last of the presentation. Now I'll pass on the mic to my colleague Ish.
Hi, my name is Ish. My topic is security features. So we have just selected 9 security features. So in our project, we prioritize robust security features. So in our website, starting with the SQL injection and code injection prevention, we have taken measures to protect the backend from malicious data input or database that could compromise our database. So this mainly prevents attackers from manipulating SQL queries to access or alter data without any authorization. So next we have implemented securing cookies to protect session data and prevent unauthorized access. So by securing cookies, we ensure that sensitive information like session tokens remain protected, especially during data transfer. So next is cross-site scripting, that is XSS. So attack can allow attackers to inject malicious scripts into our web pages. So to encounter this, we have just sanitize and validate user input across all forms and input fields to prevent malicious script from being executed on the client side. So next is click checking attack prevention, so which help protect user from hidden malicious event layered over the buttons or links. So by implementing frame busting techniques, we ensure that our application can only be displayed within trusted context. So next is cross-site request forgery, that is also CRF protection. So this attack tricks users into performing actions they didn't intended to, like changing account settings. So by implementing CRF tokens, we ensure that each user action is authenticated, adding a layer of trust and security. So next is input validation and sanitization. So this is a crucial component. So we validate user input to prevent unwanted character or format, which is crucial for ensuring that only safe and correct data enters our system. Next is access control management. So we have carefully designed permissions and roles to control access, ensuring that only authorized users can view or modify the certain data. So to safeguard data during transmission, we enforce HTTP security, transport security. So this mechanism forces our application to interact only our severe HTTPS connections, reducing the risk of data interception. So finally, we have sniffing prevention, which helps prevent attackers from capturing sensitive information that could be used for attacks. So by securing our connections and encrypting data, we have an additional layer of protection. Next is the future work. So as we look to the future, so we aim to integrate analysis to better understand user analytics, user behavior, which help us make data driven improvement, adding multi-language support, which is also a priority to ensure accessibility for a diverse user base. It will be a great if AI driven recommendation will be there to suggest services based on user activity, enhancing the user experience. So finally, we can focus on advanced security measures like multi-factor authentication or adding data encryption to further protect user information as our platform grows. Thank you. Now I'll hand over to Anirudh for the demonstration.
Hi everyone, this is Anirudh, and this is a demonstration of our website. So this is a homepage of our website. As a new user, you have to register. So we will be requesting our users first name, last name. The username has its own validations coming to it. Yeah, it has to have, it can have numbers, letters, and underscores, but it has to be unique. You can't have a different. You can't have same usernames for different users. And password has some validations where it should be having at least 8 character letters, at least having one number, one uppercase letter, and one lowercase letter, and one special character. Age, mobile number, country of citizenship, and preferred language. We have made it have sanitized so that an hacker, as it is an HTML based website, a hacker could not use HTML based scripts so that to enter into a website using as a code injection. So let's register now. So when coming to the down, as a user who is not registered, who is not a service provider, you can uncheck this. If you are a service provider, if you check this box, you will be asking you to be providing a trade and profession. So first we'll check this website in a view of users, so we can register now. So as username we have entered is similar, so it will be showing this error also. As once registration is completed, you have few options. If you don't want to actually log in as a register as a new user, you could actually continue with Google. As we registered as a new user, we'll use the same thing. So once we register, will be redirected to the service pages. We can also go back to the home page. In home page, as this is it, you will be provided with a dashboard where you'll be providing an information, and you could also edit your information based on that. And you could basically look at the bookings you have done and any inspection. So let's see if we book first an inspection. So in inspection page, you will be asked for preferred date and duration of the time, how much time you could add special requirements. So let's just say now I add as preferred date of 14 November and an alternate date of 16. For all of the fields we present in the website, we actually sanitize all of those fields so that an attacker, even if we leverage the first line of defense through register and login pages, they can be doing it through the other pages also. In special requirements, we can write water leakage issues, which so that this special requirements actually is for the so that the person who is in respect to the field of water leakage or plumbing field will be taking over the issues compared to that. So once we book inspection, you will be directed to the page of Stripe. We use Stripe for the payment services, so that Stripe is a well-developed API where in which we will be provided with everything, so that we will be having every security features right now. So So once the inspection is booked successfully, you'll be basically getting a page. You'll be getting also confirmation mail to your email, so that you can like look into the mail. You can also look your inspection status, what is the status of the right now, like what are the, when it is booked and everything. So and when it is the preferred date. So now let's log out of this and see it from a perspective of a service provider. So let's register new. Let's go back to the register page and now register as a service provider. So now as we are checking the checkbox of the registered service provider, you'll be asked to provide these two informations, which are trade and profession. If you as it is a mandatory, so we have to provide it. So once we register this user, so you can this is the difference. You can see the difference between the user interface users view of the point view of the dash home page, and also the difference from the service provider. In a service provider dashboard, you can see, can add manage services, you can add services, and you can see the recent bookings or not. So let's go back to let's show how we can add services and everything. When it coming to managed services, the service provider has to add the service name, the description of it, the price, and the service area where he's going to provide. And he also has to add a photo for the user to look at it, and he can check if the service as of now is available for booking or not. So once we add a service, now we can edit. So we can actually change the service for available for booking status also for users, so that if it's not available in a town for some time, you can change it out. As we are available right now, so we'll be just putting it as is. Okay. So now we come back. So this is a user who provides for right now for water services. As we showed recently, we have a user who requested an inspection where he has water leakages. Now when we go to available inspections, we can see a inspection available right now. Any service provider can check into this, and he can see which inspection is related to it. So as this person is involved in plumbing and sort of things, so this person could accept the inspection, and once he accepts the inspection, he has to provide like what is the issue and what is going on. We gave a for urgency level, so that gives the user when he has to, it is so much critical or not, as it gives a priority of the. So let's give it. So we have to provide an estimated cost for this. So he can select the recommended services which is available. The recommended services are the list of services we have in a service list. People can provide feedback here, like when it's need to be done. And next, in the recommended priority, you could basically show where when it has to be, the feedback has to be taken, and the estimated timeline for how much time it takes the work to be get done. So you can complete the inspection, and the inspection will be provided, and the results can be seen on the user interface. So as once we log in, we get into the services page directly. So we can see what are the available services. Click on the details. We can see what are the all services available right now. You go to service packages, you'll see different type of services, combination of how many services and everything. The service packages are actually done automatically, even though some of the services are not provided by the same person. We basically combine these two things automatically, which is done by a super user. We can go to dashboard also. We can see the results and everything of a house inspection which we have done from this user. So let's just say, as we know, the water leakage is going on. According to results, the person has said to buy out carpentry and water repair. So let's just say now we say request a service for water repair, water pipes repair. And you can see in this, we can see the service area where the service area is provided for the person. So every person is has to be providing the service area, and you can see availability of booking. It is only available, the service can be booked. So let's just say now I book this service. We use Stripe for this, so that Stripe is once the information is done, we click on pay, and you can also look into the dashboard, like what is the current status of the bookings and everything. Pending status, payment status is pending because we don't immediately send the money to the user, to the service provider, so that because the service provider may reject the service. Now we are on the service provider view. We can look that the recent bookings, we can see that there's been recent booking. Once it is accepted, the booking status changes to accepted. We can write a note to the user what services will be, what we need to be changing and everything. And we can also reject this once the completed status comes on. You can't change it once it changes completed or rejected. You can't change the status of the. Once we are here again in the user view, you can see now the payment status is completed because the booking status has been completed. Now I'll show you the process how we generate packages. So let's go to an admin status. So the super user has leverage over what service packages are available. Let's go to the website. Here we can see service packages. Let's say now we want to generate new set of packages. This is a generate page. This is only available to user. So if we come here and we click, and this generate page is automated, it is not manually added. So what it does is it creates two packages which consists of two or three available services. It automatically skips existing combinations generate. So we can see 364 packages added because we are combining two and also three, so there will be different set of combinations available. We can see different set of combinations here, like car servicing and electric power installation, wiring for houses and everything. We can look on the data and we see the breakdown of prices and everything.